I don't say this often or lightly, but sometimes we're wrong. Doesn't happen very often, and you never know. We could be wrong in the short term and end up being looking like geniuses in the long term, but I think some news has come out about Kenny Pickett, how he may not have been ready to be the day one starter. Maybe he needs some time to develop. And everyone seeing Pickett come out of college thought he was ready to go day one, the most pro-ready quarterback. But maybe Pittsburgh saw something different out of him than we did. But before we dive into this, I want to know what the Pittsburgh fans think. Do you think Pickett is ready to go now? Should he be the day one starter? Or does he need a little bit more time to develop? And I think you have a story on this, Nick.
Yeah, so Tim Benz over at the Pittsburgh Tribune Review has a really nice column. It's a really long column. I won't get into the specifics here. But basically what he found is Kenny Pickett going out of OTAs and minicamps is the number 3 quarterback on the depth chart behind Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. I think what Benz's point here, and I think it's a pretty good one, is that everyone, you and I included, looked at Pickett's 49 career starts in college. He's 24 years old. Seems all accounts to be a really mature guy, that he was an NFL-ready guy, day one starter. That's what he was, 100%, the next Joe Burrow-esque kind of player. But Benz's point is that we looked at him all wrong. And I think he's got an interesting take here, is that Pickett's strengths are his arm talent mixed with his mobility. He's got more Tony Romo, to use my comparison here a little bit, than Joe Burrow. Romo took some time with the Dallas Cowboys before becoming a starter for the team for the long time he was in the successful career he had with Dallas. And I think that's what Benz's point here is with Pickett. Pickett has all the physical tools, but remember, he only had one really good year. Now, granted, it was a great year, but it wasn't Joe Burrow-esque great year like he had against the SEC. He threw for 4,000 yards in the ACC. You know who had some really good numbers in the ACC? Mitch Trubisky, right? And we've seen the kind of the development that Trubisky has taken, and hopefully will take with Pittsburgh if he wins that job outright. So I think this point here really has some interesting takes. I think it really is valid. Maybe we were looking at Pickett wrong this whole time, and he really is more of a developmental prospect.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of another guy, and let me preface this, I don't think he's developed yet, but I think he's still developing. But you see another ACC guy like Daniel Jones. Yeah. He played a lot of games over at Duke, and then he's coming to the league, and he's needed some time definitely to progress. And this seems to be the year that people are pointing to, that this is the year they give Daniel Jones everything he needs, This is the year that he's going to progress. So that's like another guy coming out of like an ACC program, almost to the level of like Pickett's program. But I think the more I look, I like Trubisky. We like when the Pittsburgh Steelers picked up Trubisky. We like him way more than Rudolph. I think Rudolph is the second string guy behind Trubisky purely out of respect for being with the organization for a while. I think if it came down to brass tacks, Pickett would be number 2 and Trubisky would be number 1. But we like Trubisky, and if you got him, ride him. Because if you don't think Pickett's ready yet, then I don't think it's going to hurt him at all to take a little bit of time and learn under some, veteran guys. It's only going to help him get up to speed, play against some NFL-ready defenses, try to get the game, make it slow down a little bit, get him ready, get him in the headspace to go out there and attack these NFL defenses the way that he can. He has the ability to. But it was like you said, some other guys, you said Romo, he reminds me of like Drew Brees or Philip Rivers, like we were talking about earlier. Just a guy that can come in, and if you give him the time to develop, he could be very successful in the NFL.
Well, yeah, and that's a great point about bringing up some of those guys. It's kind of been a more recent memory in the NFL where you draft a quarterback in the first round, he has to be a day one starter. If he's not starting day one, is there something wrong? Or if he's not day one by week 3 or week 5 or week 8, you and I have been talking about some of these third round picks this year. When are they going to start the season? That's rare. That's very rare to have a guy come into the NFL, even if he's a top prospect like Pickett was, first round pick, and be a day one starter at the quarterback position. That used to not happen. If you had to do it, the guy was terrible. Peyton Manning was terrible his rookie year, right? As an example, Troy Aikman, John Elway, all these all-time greats were absolutely. Trevor Lawrence last year was a recent example. All these high-quality prospects were terrible the rookie years because it's hard. It takes a long time to develop. And I think a lot of us may have jumped the gun a little bit here with Pickett. That being said, he still has the arm talent. He still has the accuracy. He still has the mobility, the ability to make every throw even on the move. I just think with a little bit of time, you can certainly develop with that. And to your point, you and I were high on Trubisky when the Steelers picked him up. It was a very low risk, high reward move, and it still could be, and it still could work out extremely well for the Steelers. So I think this is kind of a best of both worlds thing here for Pittsburgh, right? They have their veteran and Trubisky, who has a lot of potential to get out of Chicago and come to a better organization. And if Pickett then can use that time to develop, they could have really two quality quarterbacks that they can choose from.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.